Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.
Welcome to the Right Now community. I'm Kaufman. I am on a mission to help the writers of the world with the process, lifestyle, and mindset that it takes to be an author. So today we're going to be doing a free write and some casual writers chat. You know what? We're rounding out the end of this Sunday with having got done kind of a lot of writing this week. So for those of you who've been checking out the community, we've been doing the AuthorTube writing session. Or the AuthorTube writing marathon just wrapped and ended this morning. I hope some of you guys were able to get some solid progress on your writing yourselves. On my end, I felt like I haven't been too successful in terms of writing this week specifically. I feel like I've been dealing with a lot of logistical stuff on my end. And then that combined with where I'm at on the chapter has kind of put me in has kind of halted my progress. So I'm going to start making some changes to both what I want to do and then some adjustments to the stream. I'll go over all that tomorrow in our update stream. But for now, my goals and priorities, as always, is to get some writing done and really help motivate everyone around. So we can all try to make some progress together. But the one thing I do know for certain is that Scarecrow has a story that has to be told, and I gotta push myself to make more progress with the book. So so far it has taken me, I want to say I started the book in October, November, December. So it's taken me about 3.5 months to get through Act 1, which with how busy I've been, it makes sense, but I cannot afford that anymore. So that is going to be changing next week. I would love to hear, how is your writing coming along? How are you feeling? If you were involved in the AuthorTube marathon, are you feeling a little more motivated, or maybe you're ready for a breather? This is the end of the week, so it's like, all right, let's rest and recover before we go into the next week. All right, let me just hop into the chat. ML, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Susan, yes, please. I'd like to edit my book successfully. Absolutely. Really. I know we're all trying to really get through that writing process, aren't we? And that's with all the things that I launch, whether it's things through the stream, whether it's things through my writing service company, The Creative Ghost, or whether it's anything else in between. My goal is to help writers with each part of the process. And I always like to break it up into the mindset, lifestyle, and the writing process. Yeah, mindset, lifestyle, and writing process that it takes to become a successful author, writer, you name it. So most of the streams tend to focus on one of those three areas. What's up, Brain? Welcome back to the stream, my friend. Wrote 10 pages today of my rough draft. Sounds like you're already making some good progress, Susan. That's awesome. Tiara in the house. Yo. By the way, Tiara, Aether and Ink interview was awesome. For those of you who missed out on Tiara's Aether and Ink stream with Miss Penelope Hartley yesterday, it's over on the Aether and Ink YouTube channel. It was a great interview. Really awesome, Tiara's. Loved hearing your Project Dust Storm read aloud. Hey, what's up, Laura? Welcome. I know you were streaming just nearly as much as I was this week. I saw you in all the places. So you're probably ready for a nap or a break over with Sam. I'm like, Sam needs to take like a week off. I just napped so hard. You know what? I was so exhausted this morning, and I really meant to. But then after the stream, I just had so many things to do, and I just like, all right, I can't even afford to take a break. I'll sleep in 50 years. That's when I'll sleep. It was a cool podcast yesterday. Yes. For those of you who missed out, I brought on one of our audience favorites, Carissa Grant, over with Worthy Chaos. And we got to do that little bit of a deep dive into merchandising and crowdfunding. Carissa, she has done 14 crowdfunding campaigns, and she has been very successful. She's pulled in a lot of revenue, and her current one is the most successful to date. So definitely, if you ever need to ask anybody about merchandising questions, Carissa Grant is your go-to. The podcast episode, it's not linked down below, but on the YouTube, on the Right Now channel homepage, it's under the podcast playlist. Like, Tara, got to get at least 6K words written tonight, and I just got off work. We'll see how it goes. Well, you're in the right place, Tara, because you and me both. I need to get as many words as possible. Laura, like, I'm feeling back in the saddle again, short fiction-wise, finally submitting new stories. Yes, that is what's up. So I think on, let's say I know Emma had a monster, so I'll be up all night anyways. Oh, man. Well, monsters definitely help with staying up for the writing vibes. I was on at least 2 streams a day. Yeah. Laura, welcome to my world. Welcome to the world of being a daily streamer. I hope you had some fun this week. It took me about 45 days of doing this consistently to start getting the hang of it and kind of getting it ingrained into like a daily lifestyle. But yeah, the first, I would say 30 to 45 days of streaming daily was definitely an adjustment for sure. And I just show up, I stream of conscious, and then maybe others will show up and we'll write together. Maybe I say clever things every once in a while. Let's see, on screen. Yeah, many more in the chat. Absolutely. Kaufman was planning his crowdfunding. Yes. It was so crazy. After the stream, Chris and I, we had a strategy session, and we were talking about all these things with Scarecrow. And I'm like, yes to everything. And so like, there's a lot that I want to do with Scarecrow, but the book has to be done. So I'm like, clearly I need to push myself to make more progress. Right now, the author website, which is going to feature the Last Scarecrow stuff, is in the works. The book cover for Last Scarecrow is also in the works, and a couple of other things. So I know I got to push myself. In a perfect world, I'm going to try to aim for a May spring release. So we'll see if that's a reality. But the only way I can do that is if I push myself, pick up the pace with Act 2. Laura, like during Storyteller's Hearth weekend relays, I've been on 8 streams in 3 days before. Well, I totally feel you, my friend. That's almost how I felt when we did the 3 streams at 25 hours of streaming for the Right Now it's on. So I know sometimes it can be a lot, but you know what? You just build up that endurance. All right, perfect. So with that being said, let's hop into some writing. I'll throw up the playlist. You guys can see here what I got. I got my outline on the right, story on the left. You can follow along if you want. I think I figured out how I'm going to go about this chapter. I keep just getting distracted in between. So let's hop in. I'll check back on. I'll hop into the chat and I'll take a breather in a little bit once I've made some progress. So whether you're brainstorming, writing, or editing, that's all part of the progress. That's all part of the progress. That's all part of the process. So come join us because it's time to write now. Real quick question. I'm writing this scene right now, or I guess question, is this something that you ever deal with? So I'm writing the scene right now. Now that I have Scarecrow and Mr. Crow. And Mr. Crow, I think in the original draft he had his moments, but I think his intelligence level was very low in the original draft. And it was all right. I definitely wanted to increase his intelligence level a little bit in the second draft, but with his personality, because I don't want him to come across dim or dumb. I want him to come across eccentric. And you kind of have to find a balance between that he's lost his sanity as compared to he doesn't have any sanity to begin with. But there's always these moments where I really want to pull the readers, pull their attention to, and I realized that I think I'm going to be able to make this a thing where we'll have these really dramatic moments where I'm going to be building up, and Scarecrow and Crow will always have this moment. And then you think that it will be something really profound. And then Mr. Crow acts basically like a bird and always goes back to eating something. He is with Scarecrow after the last robot has now perished and is no more, and he's with Mr. Crow. They're having this moment of staring together, and he comes to Scarecrow to comfort him, and they share a look, and it's very meaningful. And Mr. Crow, Scarecrow is about to ask him for help, and then Mr. Crow instead goes and tries to eat the skull or eat the robot head, which I'm all right, I don't think you're going to eat a robot head. Oh, man. I mean, I guess we could. I mean, that might actually be something interesting, actually, for a character trait, that he can eat things. He can eat unnatural things. I mean, that could be kind of fun because you're not expecting it. Actually, I think that might be kind of fun. There's something that he just ate the robot. Oh my god. And I wanted this moment to have a comedic undertone because the last chapter was extremely dramatic. Oh man, Susan, you were talking about your story. You're submitting to a contest. You're about a couple finding a missing baby and protecting it from its parents who wants to use the baby for media stunt. Oh, that sounds like a really interesting log line. Stephanie, you're saying, let's just say the second book is a little bit more disturbing than the first one, and it's a little hard to read. I've had to stop and walk away a lot. Yeah, especially when we're writing darker material or anything that involves serial killer type stuff. I think we always have to be able to approach it from a certain way, and especially if it's darker. That can be challenging sometimes. I try to imagine what it's like for writers who have written really intense serial killer type stories, and they've done it well. So yeah, it's I don't know if I'd be able to do it or not. And that's kind of a hard line too. It's a really hard line to walk with writing a serial killer. Not an anti-hero story. I could do an anti-hero, but a serial killer one. I'd really have to ask myself if I'd be able to pull it off in a way that I thought I could do something new that hasn't been done before. ML, maybe have me saying something in the form of a riddle. Maybe have him speak in riddle form. Which I think that was kind of the direction that I was starting to go with. Previously, so I mean, I think I wanted Crow to have very clear moments where he gets smarter from gaining his memories, getting certain degrees of his memories back. And I've thought about having him speak in riddles. I think originally I just had him repeating everything that was said to him. And I was all right, well, that sometimes it comes across and other times it doesn't. So, I mean, the riddle thing could work. I think my challenge with riddles is then I have to come up with clever things to say. I don't always come up with the most clever things. So we'll see. We'll see if I can pull off riddles with Mr. Crow, because that could actually be fun. ML absolutely did. I thought you were just trying to speak in riddles. Oh man, hey, what's up, Eli? What if he just pecked the robot's eyes and said something about how he feels special aversion to eyes, or something to make him sound unhinged? That's actually kind of funny. that would actually be kind of funny too. It feels a special aversion to eyes. Yeah, I think what I'm trying to decide if I should give him the capability to be able to consume and eat things that are that's non-organic. Which, I mean, I guess it could actually make sense then why another factor why he survived for so long. That actually would, because the food source is not very common in this part of the world, which is why this part of the world is the most empty, because there's no food source in this area. Um, so I'm actually not surprised. Yeah, that's interesting. Stephanie, like the reason the second book is a little bit more disturbing is because most of it is in the point of view of the people actually doing these crimes. Getting into their heads is a little scary. Yeah, and that's always hard with darker stuff. I feel like you have to find that balance of being able to like get into a character's head without being able to empathize with how the character would feel with going about their journey without letting the character's journey pull you into a darker pit of which forces you to deal with your own trauma. So I think that that's definitely a challenge for anyone. I could totally see how you would have to balance that. I imagine you probably balance, I imagine, going back and forth between the serial killer stuff and then probably the fantasy stuff, the vampire stuff, which is a little more, I mean, I imagine dark, but still different type of dark than serial killer. Eli, I feel like that's the ultimate fear with crows. Eye pecking. You know what? That's actually interesting. Really play into that, the eye pecking. Um, beware the Ides of March as he is pecking the eye. Oh man, that's funny. All right, well, we'll see what I can come up with. But in the meantime, I have my quick my announcement for the day. I'm going to go into it more in depth tomorrow, but I was like, if I had written this out correctly, let's go. What do I do? All right, we'll do the So I would like to again officially announce on the stream that I am launching for the first time. I am launching a masterclass. So this is a brand new thing that I'm trying. It's called the Write Edit Brand Masterclass, and it's essentially it's a pop-up masterclass. I decided I wanted to give it a shot and see how it looked. Let's see. I've been asking myself, how can I deliver exponential value over a shorter period of time? And what came to me was a masterclass. So the masterclass is going to revolve around 3 separate areas of writing. Each day is going to revolve around a separate area of being an author of the process. So the first day is going to revolve around writing techniques and skill building. The second day is going to revolve around learning how to self-edit, doing editing games, editing. It's like an editing workshop. I have so much planned for it. It's a lot of different editing things for you to be able to review your own work and for you to really practice and learn the skill of self-editing, because I know editing is a hard thing for many, many writers. And I really want to help the community get better at editing. And then the third day, which I know so many writers need to do, is branding. So the third day is going to be focused around branding techniques. I have a branding outline, a branding strategy, and we're going to look into some common brand strategies, whether we're going to be, whether you want to be build an author brand through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or one of the non-mainstream social medias that are more writing focused, like Ream. There's a couple other ones as well. So that's generally the masterclass as a whole. Now, that's just kind of a deep dive, or that's just kind of a brief overview. Anybody who wants to check out more, here's I'll drop the link here in the chat if you want to go check out the page that kind of goes into the details of it. But I would highly recommend that you sign up for it now. Now, it does cost. So the pricing for it, I've created 2 tiers. So essentially it's, well, I should say the dates first. It's going to be in 2 weeks. January 31st through February 2nd. So that's in 2 weekends. And then there's 2 tiers for you to be able to sign up for the class. The general admission tier, I want to say, is $197. And then the VIP tier, which includes, it's basically focuses more on one-on-one. There's a lot of one-on-one additions to it, is $397. However, I've created a special discount for everyone in the Right Now community to kind of incentivize anybody who's interested in it. But the deadline for this discount is tomorrow. So let me pull that up. Right. So you said kind of go into all like the different elements of it. I do like a full breakdown on this web page to be able to go through like what what you kind of can expect from each day. Right. So you can see I go into a deep dive of all the tangible things of what each day looks like. I go over through some example stories. I was actually really proud how my personal profile or how my personal like accomplishments have kind of come out. I'm like, they're starting to sound pretty good. It's like 550 videos on YouTube doesn't sound too bad. And this is just a brief thing. Got testimonials. Have to have a shout out to Penelope and Soul for some awesome testimonials. I got Courtney on here as well. Thank you, Courtney. If you catch this on the replay. And then once again, so into the pricing breakdown. So the general admission is $197. The VIP is $397. But if you purchase the ticket before, I want to say Tuesday, it's until tomorrow, because I basically did it as like a 48-hour thing from when I launched it last night. You'll essentially be saving $50 to $100 on the core pricing. So it's kind of like, it's like the early bird, which like generally most like classes and like events do it. It's like an early bird pricing. So for anybody who wants to, if you sign up literally by tomorrow at midnight, you'll be able to get that discounted rate, which I'm just calling the Right Now pricing. So definitely wanted to call out to this. I'm like super excited. I have so much planned for this. And I'm really, really curious to see what the turnout looks like and to see what type of value I can deliver, because I really want everyone to be able to walk away from this with actionable steps and strategies for each writing, editing, and branding. So I'm so excited. All right. So I wanted to make sure that I did a quick call out to that. I just dropped the link down in the chat for anyone who wants to check it out. All right. And let's see, where were we at? Yeah, I saw you guys' comments from the birds. Those cracked me up. What's up, Rob? Oh man, I just saw your comment. I was like, that's funny. You're like, I'm gunning for 2026 sci-fi novel manuscript, working hard, but I follow fantasy because fantasy is amongst one of the most challenging genres. You know it. I mean, clearly there's an interest in fantasy because fantasy is a mainstream genre. I think the challenge behind doing fantasy well is because there's so many advanced systems, and because we've seen such an abundance of fantasy over the past 10 years, I think there's an interest and a need for readers when they read fantasy. They want certain worlds, systems, magic systems, characters, plot lines, and things. They need them to a certain level where you don't have to, in other genres, you don't have to have those same systems to as an in-depth level. And that's just expectation from the readership. And as such, creating more complicated systems and then being able to tie them together effectively in the long term, especially over series, which most fantasy books end up being series, can be challenging. So I totally get that. But I love my science fiction as well. Oh, thanks so much, Susan. It's like, I feel like it will. I feel like this is, like I said, this is my first, attempt at seeing how a masterclass goes. I'm not like concerned about the value in the information because like I know I can deliver on that, on all the stuff. Yeah, that's not what I'm worried about. It's more like I want to make sure that I can get through everything that I want to get through in a reasonable amount of time for everyone, right? Because there's like so much that's on my mind. So I'm going to make sure that I have like very clear plans for each day, both for workshops, both for the group stuff, the one-on-one stuff with the VIP add-ons and everything else, in addition to the resources and the tools that everyone's getting. So like people are getting like free, they're getting free tools to be able to use to help them with throughout the class. So it is always my hope that if I deliver on anything, that somebody leaves feeling like they got double the value. So that's something that I really care about. I appreciate your faith, Susan. I'm like, me too. Fingers crossed. We'll see. All right, beautiful. Back into writing, my friends. Let's get back into it. So let's see. We're going to see what happens with Mr. Crow. All right, let's see if I can write Mr. Crow quickly enough. All right. And so come back and join me, whether you're writing, brainstorming, editing, all part of the process. And let's throw up another playlist and let's do it. Emma, I just wanted to respond to your question real fast. I saw that you asked that. You said question about the masterclass. Kaufman, are you doing the classes live, and will you be filming them so someone can sign up to take them later? I'm asking because I just can't plan to attend anything right now. No pun intended. Absolutely. So they are going to be filmed live. They are going to be the only streams that'll be doing for those days. So people will have to be signed up for the masterclass to be able to see my streaming it all for the weekend. And once the streams are done, they will be available for replays. I'm still going through, I might repurpose them, but they're going to be for the masterclass subscribers only. So anybody who basically has a ticket, who's bought a ticket for the general admission or the VIP, will be able to watch the videos on the replay. Great question. So that way, because I recognize some people might be busy some of those days, or they might not be busy all those days. So that way people can still get the value out of paying for it, regardless of whether or not they're available at the time. People will get a little bit more value out of it by showing up for the live experience. And this is why I've done 3 separate styles of days: writing, editing, and branding. So that way people can really pick the days that they care about the most. Because then those are the ones that they'll be able to be involved in the interactive elements of it, but then they can catch the replays for those other days if they do end up missing one of the other 2 days. So great question. Great question. Hey, what's up, Natalie? Welcome. How's the writing treating you today, my friend? Hopefully getting a little bit of work done. I'm making some good progress with Scarecrow, actually. I'm making some excellent, good progress. All right, I got to get back into it. Can't distract myself too much. All right, let's go this one. How are you guys doing? I feel like I was able to make able to make a little bit of writing progress. I felt pretty good with what I got. I feel like this is like the first day where I've actually been able to push myself into this chapter. I'm gonna have to be more on top of keeping myself accountable with writing length in the days to come. So, I mean, now that I know where I'm going, I can probably finish this chapter in maybe like 2 days. So we'll see. I wasn't expecting to have to rewrite a chapter, but you know what? It happens. All right. It sounds like you guys are getting some work done as well. Definitely relying on your cute cats and pets to be able to help. Aw. Mm. That's cool. You guys have some really fun pets, it looks like. And then brain, you're like, my work is so complex, it takes a bit of prep, but realize the tendency to procrastinate and focus on that, holding off the actual work. Happens to the best of us. All right, my friends. Well, I feel I was able to make a little bit of progress today. I'm happy with the progress that I made on my end. With that, I have to continue on with my daily schedule. So that brings us to creative writing on the morrow. I'll be back tomorrow with an update stream. I definitely got a couple updates for y'all. So definitely make sure to come back, tune in tomorrow. Hopefully I can get in some writing as well. Actually, I really need to. So maybe we'll do half update, half writing. We'll see how tomorrow looks, but definitely come back, join us tomorrow. It'll probably be mid to late afternoon. Seems to be the usual for Mondays. And if you enjoyed the stream, tap that like button on your way out. Help us show the algorithms that writing streams are cool. Also, don't forget, take some breathers. Give yourself a little rest. We got a lot of writing in this week. The marathon was crazy. The holidays were crazy. Now, as we're like in the new year and really focusing on the year ahead of us and all the progress we're going to make. So I'm glad you were able to make a little bit of writing. Keep on the writing vibe. If you want to keep writing, go hang out over in the Discord, linked down in the YouTube description below. If you want to hop into a one of the hangouts or go chill with the other writers. But unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.